Simon, thank you very much indeed. Yes, as you've been hearing, there's been widespread condemnation of the bonus worth nearly £1 million to the Chief Executive of Royal Bank of Scotland, Stephen Hester. He's been awarded £963,000 of shares by the mainly state-owned bank. Well, let's get more on this from Chris Roebuck from Cass Business School and Dr. Stefan O'Harney, Deputy Director of Queen Mary's University of London. First of all, to you, Chris.
Yeah.
How justified is it that a man, the boss of a bank, gets nearly £1 million in shares as a bonus when that bank has been letting go of thousands of staff over the last 2 years?
The key issue is he doing a good job? And we have to look at it from the commercial perspective, which is where the bank's coming from. The politicians are looking at this from a point-scoring perspective, and the public are looking at this from a moral perspective and are justifiably outraged. And the problem is you can't reconcile those. So the bank is saying, look, he's done the job we asked him to do. He was given a poison chalice. He's actually come out of it quite well. Compared to his peers, he's actually not getting that much. And really, the issue isn't about Stephen Hester. The issue is about, one, senior executive pay in banking in this country, and two, the global comparisons by which the banks measure each other.
Dr. Harney, do you agree with that? I mean, is it justified if he's doing a good job?
No, it's not justified, and I think there is a larger picture, and that larger picture is that it's true that maybe we own RBS, but we should know by now that we're on the hook for the whole financial sector. And this bonus culture is one of the major contributing factors to the crisis that put us in the fix we're in right now with broken public finances and starving public services. That bonus culture needs to be condemned either in RBS, publicly owned, but of course across the rest of the sector, which is about to follow suit and award similar bonuses.
I mean, you could argue that, couldn't you, Chris, that the bankers' pay system anyway is fundamentally flawed because it's so overinflated, the amount they get paid?
Absolutely, and we know that from the deregulation of the city and similar things happening in other countries, the differential between bankers' pay and everybody else's pay has just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And there is certainly a perspective that says actually it should be brought down. But having a go at Stephen Hester isn't going to do that. What should be happening is David Cameron should be talking to the other heads of state, particularly the G20 in Davos, and saying we need to do something about this. There is no point expecting RBS to do it by itself or British banks to do it by itself, because you'll have a level playing field and those banks will suffer in the market.
What do you think?
Well, of course, Britain has been one of the major obstacles to developing an international agreement around pay, so I don't think we should hold our breath around that. But it's certainly true that I would not single out Hester. He's just our problem at the moment. We'll have more problems next week and the week after as this bonus culture rolls itself out and creates the kind of instability all over again that we faced last time. So we have a major problem on our hands, which goes far beyond whether or not we own a particular bank.
I mean, Chris Roebuck, we talk about him doing a good job, and yet RBS hasn't met its lending targets. I mean, that clearly is one stipulation, isn't it, that it hasn't met?
Yeah, in those terms, yes, but I suspect that's not the only target that Hester has got, because don't forget that there is another part of the bank that is trying to be developed, and that's the investment banking side, which makes a contribution as well. So he'll have a range of targets. You know, the point is about executive pay, let's be fair, that neither political party has actually dealt with senior pay, either in banking or in industrials and other organisations.
It's just been allowed to go on and on.
It's been allowed to go on.
Dr. Harney, should he give his bonus up? Would that make a difference? It
would make no difference, because this isn't about ethics and voluntary issues. It's about a structural problem that's going to plunge the country back into crisis.
And what do you think, Chris? Do you think if he gives it up, it might be at least a gesture?
That's down to him. You know, in all fairness, if he gives it up, it is a gesture, but that's absolutely right. It doesn't solve the fundamental problem that no bank and no individual country can deal with this excessive bonus culture that exists globally and not just in London. Let's be fair, there are 23 major international banks in London, of which only 3 are British. The other 20 will be setting bonus levels over the next few weeks on the basis of global comparisons. And if the British banks don't follow suit, all it means is that somebody moves from a British bank to a foreign bank across the street.
Does that really mean that, though? Does it really mean people move, or is that just an empty threat?
If it's only 50 yards across the street.
People move all the time anyway, with or without bonuses. There's a huge movement going on with bonuses. So without bonuses, yeah, they'll keep moving, but what will the difference make?
OK, Dr. Stefan O'Harney and Chris Roebuck, very good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed.